Alright, so we're starting with that Zenith Prime that we did in the other two videos so far. If you want to see how to do that, you can go back and watch the Batman video, which I explain exactly how we get this Prime. We're starting, of course, with the small amount of face that we actually see, and we see more face on Nightwing than we do at all on Batman or Catwoman. And that's because he only covers his eyes with a mask and doesn't cover his chin and forehead. So we're using some flat flesh for that. Next we have the main part of the show, which is black. I've talked at length in other videos about the problems with painting black. Most important thing, and the thing to remember, is you can always add more. So make sure your coats are thin. Don't get frustrated that black is so streaky. Just make sure that you paint 2 or 3 coats of black on there. Keep it real thin and it'll come out looking really nice. So here is finally a new color. If you've been following the Batman painting videos, we use black and we use gray, and that's about it. But now we're using some light turquoise from Vallejo. And I think that this color does wonders for Nightwing as a base coat for his blue. Now there's multiple ways to paint Nightwing's blue. I am using one of the comic book versions, which it is just across his chest, on top of his boots and his face. Here we're adding white to the face to get to his eyes. And remember, don't be scared about running over, because you can always repaint that base of turquoise to make the eyes smaller and more defined and better at what you're trying to do. We're using German gray to highlight the black as our first highlight layers, and just follow the lines of the muscles, making sure that deep within each muscle is black, and then it's going to lighten from there. Here I'm using some Ivory to lighten the German gray, so I'm mixing it together in like a 50-50 ratio and moving from there. And same thing here, I'm highlighting the top of his suit, his chest, trying to pick out his abs, doing the same thing at the tips of each muscle on his leg, just to really make his suit look shiny and make his muscles look really protruded. Wow, I cannot talk today. So now I've added some Ivory again to the light turquoise, and I'm highlighting up the turquoise with this. Now that I have time to catch my breath, I have nothing left to say. But yeah, this is where you can also clean up the whites of his eyes and make sure that they look properly done. I'm now using some flat blue that is very, very thinned down. And I thinned it down with just water, but I made it into sort of a wash. And I'm painting in the shadows of the turquoise. Now I'm coming back with that lightened turquoise and cleaning up those shadows. In other words, I'm making them smaller and more kept in the recesses. And I really like the way that this turned out, but it did take a little finagling. You did have to work with it a bit to get that dark blue in the shadows and then the turquoise outside of those shadows. And then again, I went back in with that Ivory turquoise mixture to really highlight that up. Do you need to do it in that order? Of course not, but I really like the colors and I think it came out well. So here I'm using Wolf Gray to paint his attack sticks. I don't know exactly what they're called, but using Wolf Gray to paint up the sticks. The sticks are a white color, and so you don't want to start with white. You want to start with Wolf Gray and then come back with white, as I'm doing here, to highlight those sticks. So you're painting just the top of each of them to make them really stand out. And with that, Nightwing is pretty much done. You just need to paint the base however you want to. I've already done his base the exact same way I did in the Batman video, which you can see in the cards up at the top. But I think he came out really well, and I think that him being my third model and painting black. Oh, I didn't even talk about his hair. I basically did his hair the exact same way as I did his suit, highlighting exactly the same. So if you want to do black hair, you can do it the same exact way. But I think he came out great. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. New outro, I know. If you want to watch more in this series, click right here. If you would like to watch another video in a completely different series, click right here. And if you'd like an easy way to subscribe, other than clicking down below, even though it's right there and it says subscribe, you can click on this little picture right here. That also works.